This is Making Moves, and we're 50,000 Rand to invest in a business. 10 entrepreneurs will come face to face with our panel of judges to pitch for this investment.
I'm not convinced on where you're wanting to spend the money.
Your business could be in line to win this grand prize and our Money in the Bank series. Your business could be operating from home, the streets, or at a fancy office, no matter, from a bicycle. Oksalayo, we are looking for you. Only 4 entrepreneurs will make it to the final episode to pitch for that investment. Watch Making Moves every Monday, 2 p.m. on SABC 1, Mzansi for sure.
We've added other different portions that we're selling. We've also included lamb.
I'm going to stop you. You've got a minute left.
What I'd like to do with this 50,000 rands is that I'm going to increase on my marketing. Is that I want to make sure that we so nervous.
I don't expect you to ask to take money and throw it in marketing when it's something that you can do in-house. Yeah.
But you coached her now.
Yeah.
South Africa kuthiwa sidla inyama ebalelwa ku-2.9 million tons ngonyaka. U60% waleso sibalo ulapha kwinyama yenkukhu. Amabhusha ke wona ke lawa akwazi ukuthi anakekele abantu abanezidingo zenyama esefresh ayadingeka kuona lo mkhakha. Yiloko kwenze uPaulina Mothupi ukuthi yena ke aphinde avuse ibhizinisi laka baba wakhe elebhusha. Waletha ushintsho kulona kodwa ke futhi esanakekela izidingo zamakhasimende abo.
My name is Paulina Mothupi. I come from Polokwane. I'm a local business owner of a company called Mothupi Butchery, which is situated in Seshego. We offer beef, lamb, poultry, and pork products. Our unique offering over and above than the retail customers, we do wholesale distribution to the cafes and the restaurants. We also do household deliveries. You can find us on our Facebook page called Mothupi Butchery.
Namhlanje ngichitha usuku Mothupi Butchery esesishiro. Leli butchery leli lasungulwa nguMr Mothupi many years ago. Kwase kwathi ngeva kwesikhathi ke uMr Mothupi washiya nalo leli business lavala. Indodakazi yakhe ke yena ke wathi ukuthi uyekela umsebenzi wakhe ontofontofo. Ufuna ukubuya ke lapha ekhaya. Azovusa ke lona lelifa leli uMr Mothupi alishiya. Today ngizobe ngichitha usuku kuyona le butchery le ngifuna ukwazi kabanzi ukuthi indodakazi yakhe iluphi ushintsho elilethile kulona leli business. Why have the need yokuthi uyekela umsebenzi obu-right ubusebenza kuona? Come back uzovuselela ifa elashiwa ngobaba wakho, which is late butchery simekulona.
Well, I just thought for me it was not doing any justice to my father with this building that is standing here, because after Pokane, what we did is that we closed the business.
Yes.
And then I was working. My mom could not actually cope because they ran the business together. So because we closed it, and I'm sitting there in the big city, this business is closed. My heart was just not right.
Yes.
So I just felt, you know what? Let me just follow my heart, and then everything will just fall into place.
One can look at it, ngalibheka sithi hayi wenza umsebenzi omuhle naleli mina. But umulivula belingekho esimeni esikahle because ubaba zange lalizale lisale in a good standing. Belinenkinga belinazo neindleko bezikhona.
No, I think it was in a good standing, to be honest. I just think the way they ran it and what we are doing now, it's completely different. The foundation is still the same in terms of the principles and the basics of how we have to run the business.
All right.
But the modern way of doing things, you know, society changes, how business is done, is what we've just changed. That's the element that I just felt we brought in into the business.
Yeah. So how much are we talking about refinancing and getting it going back again and making sure Gucci liasimam?
Well, from my side, in terms of, I put in about 250K back into the business. Because, I mean, as a butchery, the equipment that we use is quite expensive. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
This is where the work is. This is my younger brother.
Yeah.
His name is Mothupi.
Okay.
He's actually one of the guys, the blockmen. Like I said, with regards to continue the legacy, I make sure that they go to school. Luckily, they love it, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
So the Shapa family affair.
Chapa family affair.
Yes, ma'am. It's very red.
This is a Springbok.
Yeah.
It's actually for our clients. So what happens is that we get some clients that will bring some game meat,
Yeah.
and then they'll ask us to cut it per their specification. We do biltong for them, and sometimes make some boards for them as well. But I mean, depending on how it is that they want it, it's a client spec that we actually deliver accordingly.
Mo ke Mothupi Butchery ntwe ke berekang ke gore ke na blockman ke khatsa nama ke dia means ke dia vorse and then but then ke ya thusha mo le mo khono dia packaging khono dia le lo jere mo cashier lo wa pay sometimes ka pay, you know what, so I just help out and just make sure business ya rana.
This is my younger brother.
Another brother.
Another brother. His name is Mothupi as well.
Mothupi.
Yes. And then he's gonna show you how to actually do Mothupi. You look very shocked.
Okay. No. I think I'll survive. Since you said they did go to school to learn how to work the machines, so I guess I'll be in good hands. I'm just going to take just a little bit here. So that one will make it a bit fine.
Yeah, this is gonna make it what we call mince.
All right.
And voila, got yourself a tray of mince.
What you do is just...
batho ba Mothupi ba ke thomile go berekana le bona ke thomile go šomišana le bona last year ba ntisetša tho a seng ke ba ntisetša go senyega ke epela di-customer a ona customer enke ba e busa le ke sena tšhelete ba tabang ratlela yona le ke thaetse ke mathata a lehu ba kgona go booster ba kgona go tisa megodi ba mpha mahala ka lerato la bona le nna ke se ke re batho ba ke šomišana le bona le ke ithega ka batho ba bantši ke ithega ka ba Mothupi a ona motho yo mongwe kore ke bona ke bona batswadi ba ka ee.
Whether you get paid or not, I'll still be able to, avoid that risk by making sure that I've got the money before everything happens.
I don't think you're telling me the truth.
The second of 4 children raised in Seshego, Paulina has suffered great losses in her lifetime. Despite her setback, yena kuhleze intokazi ihleze izimisele ukuthi yona izophumelela. Uxoxisana nathi ukusichazela kabanzi ngokuthi ke yini ke lena kuyona ibihleze imphusha ukuthi anga give up futhi azi ukuthi yena uzophumelela.
Paulina Gagola was very shy.
Nikili very active. Because sports as well as academically on as a bit of a price. I was a very bright student. Marlon and Nikiselega as well.
Nerele boarding school, ne? And then the weekends, if you wanted to go out, we needed permission from our parents. And Paulina found a way of getting permission that was sort of like unofficial permission. And that's how we would end up being able to go to the mall and things like that, gadi weekends, without getting official permission from our parents.
Kore Paulina o thomile ka go reng go opela. Nkile la go nna ke re ke dutse ka mo gae ke kwa ba re gape Paulina o ile Durban. O ile opela. Ha o Paulina o ile Durban. Paulina ba re ke miss. O tshwanetse di beauty contest. How? Bo mebe ba mputse ba re ao Aniki. Ganti ngwana wa gago o jwang?
I won. Actually, Miss Dobsonville, I think it was, at some point. When the new mall actually opened, so they actually ran a competition there. And oh well, I'll try our luck and we'll see. And yeah, I made it. My relationship with Siya, it was like normal sibling rivalry. We were not very close. We were not very close until obviously as Rahola, because as you know, there'll always be that little jealousy between the two sisters.
The sister is going to pass away because she had a brain tumor, and then the doctor told us she won't live long.
When we found out, about her tumor, it was also when our friendship was blooming, and I just felt very, I've wasted all this time. I was a bit angry at myself, or at least, I've wasted all this time being angry at her, whereas now I don't have that time anymore with her.
After the death, the sister, le nna ngwana ka ke be mo filela shem ka be ke mmona gore a se le nna o ke mo tsebang. She had a child, Natasha. Every time ge Paulina nna ya ko sepetlele a yo mmona o na mmotsa re mo ena re please, Paulina, look after my child.
I'm blessed to have her. I don't have kids of my own, so at least I'm, I'm practicing Guyana. And I think with her being, it was about 3 years, I think, yeah. When she passed on and she's 12 years, I think I've done a pretty good job.
Paulina, and then Sala Atamaya, and entire Atamaya is because of the work. Because Paulina was working for Standard Bank.
She was the youngest ex-co member on, on the executive team of that particular bank.
After about 3 years, I was again Papa as well. Family
After the death of my husband, I closed the business. I couldn't cope. And then Paulina decided to come back.
She literally resuscitated the family business, the butchery, which was closed after the passing of her father. And, from strength to strength, I'm really seeing her doing amazing things with the butchery, with the brand. And yeah, I'm proud of her.
Siyazi ukuthi abantu balapha ekhaya bayayithanda inyama. Kodwa, the average consumer is still under enormous financial strain. UPaulina njengamanje usestudio uxoxisana nathi ngezinkinga abhekene nazo kuleli business lakhe elidayisa inyama.
Just arrived at the Making Move Studios, here to meet Pepsi, and I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I'm sure, a good thing's going to come out of this interview. Thanks.
In trying to re-establish KM Mothupi Butchery, Paulina invested huge sums of her pension fund. The business is slowly coming out of recovery mode, and she's only just started drawing a salary. She's here to discuss the efforts she's made to resuscitate the family business. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Good to have you on Making Moves. Take a seat.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the history of the business: operated, closed. Your mother was operating it for a while. You then joined, put in money from your pension fund to resuscitate this family business.
Yes.
Was that an emotional decision or a commercial decision?
It was both. But primarily it was more emotional than the commercial decision.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that a good idea? I mean, are you not going to lose your pension fund? Not just your pension fund, but also your earning potential that you would be, what you would be earning in corporate?
I think for me, I don't think the commercial bit would actually would have worked out, because I was already, in terms of my job, I was feeling a bit stagnant. I didn't feel that the passion was no more there. So because of the business that I've grown in, I started getting more interested in just, running my own, being an entrepreneur, running my own business again. And what better place to start than from home, where I initially, worked from, and I know the business as well.
Will this business ever make you as much money as you would make being in management at corporate?
I believe it will.
Okay.
Yes.
And why do you believe that? And how would you get it from where it is to where it should be?
I think if you look at the fact that the growth that I've done with all that's happened within the past year and 3 months that I've been working, with me being there and the plans that I have, in terms of the expansion plans, that I have already in place, it's what's going to take me to obviously, like now I'm starting to grow to get a salary, because obviously things are starting to look up. And yeah, I think that's I'll survive.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the risks that the business faces.
Okay.
You've got a shopping center with a large retailer 2 kilometers away from you. You can't compete with their buying power, and therefore you can't compete with their pricing.
Okay.
How are you intending to fight that monster?
Well, if you look at my clientele, it's primarily, yes, we do the walk-ins because it's just a normal retail butchery. But we do, over and above the walk-in, we do your household deliveries. We're expanding in terms of the deliveries of the hawkers that within the community, and also within the surrounding communities as well. So yes, we may have that the big retailers that are closer to us, but we have a wider clientele that we actually serve to.
I looked at your growth plan in terms of some of the things you want to do. The one thing that scared me was you want to do some tender work where guys have won tenders and don't necessarily have the buying power, and you want to supply them. It's very dangerous business.
Yes.
Okay.
I think what's happened previously was that in as much as they would get the tenders, keeping them, retaining them, and making sure that payment is done is what it's how I plan to keep the relationship, to ensure that obviously I do get the payment. We make sure that in as much as they will be paid in a 30-day payment period with the government, I make sure that I get that payment upfront.
Okay.
To make sure that we whether you get paid or not, I'll still be able to avoid that risk by making sure that I've got the money before everything happens.
I don't think you're telling me the truth. I don't think you're telling me the truth, because typically when you win a tender like that, you don't have the cash flow.
Typically.
So how are they getting money to pay you up front, first of all?
Okay.
Secondly, again, why are they not just going to a retailer if they're going to have to pay you up front anyway and buy meat cheaper?
What they do is that instead of they would go like auctions and buy the cows themselves. If not, when I go and do my buying of cows, then they'll obviously have to make a payment up front, because we cannot really take the stock without having the payment done. And then we obviously slaughter them. That's how I make sure that is done. How they've built the supplier or the hospitals and everything else, I don't get involved in it. I get involved in terms of what it is that I'm giving them.
The business made a pretty heavy loss last year.
Yes.
And I looked at your financials and I thought some of those costs were a little bit out of whack. Why did you make such a big loss last year?
Initially what happened is that there was an investment that I got. There was a sponsor that I got. And there was a lot of equipment that needed to be refurbished. So what happened is that part of the money that I invested personally, I made sure that it went into stock. So I did a lot of bulks, I bought a lot of bulk stock. But now with the equipment that was refurbished, we like about a month into operation, we realized that it was not completed properly. So we obviously had that stock loss, that whole bulk stock loss, and we have to I had to buy your compressors and have to do the fridges again, because I mean the fridges are it's my heart of the business. So if those don't work, then I mean obviously it messes up my operation.
The one thing I must commend you for, though, which I think you've done incredibly well, is you've increased your turnover significantly. Just half year to July this year compared to last year. So it's less than 6 months if you look at the financial year.
Yeah.
You've already almost doubled what last year's turnover was for the entire period, which is fantastic, so well done.
Thank you.
Paulina has got a very clear idea of where she'd like to see the butchery going. But before she can see notable progress, there are some immediate financial challenges that need to be addressed. I'm sending her to a coaching session so she can identify further opportunities for profit making.
Well, my interview with Pepsi, I think it went quite well. He asked me a lot of questions that I know kind of just need a lot more clarity. And I'm hoping with the coaching that I'm going to go through, I'll be able to kind of see and sort out those issues.
Running the business.
Yes.
But who owns this business?
Correct.
You've got siblings.
Yes.
And that's gonna be an issue.
Mothupi Butchery bona bayaziqhenya ngokuba yelinye lamabhizinisi athuthukisa isimo somnotho emalokishini. Kodwa with increased household debt and rising cost of living continues to affect spending power in the townships. Ake sithembe ukuthi i-coaching session yakhe uPaulina noLucas Muloi izomsiza ukuthi yena ke athole izindlela ezintsha ezokwazi ukuthi yena ke athole koncedo ngalama challenges abhekene nawo.
Now, you then decided to revive the business.
Yes.
With reviving the business, you put your money into it.
Yes.
What is the structure of the business? Who owns the business? Because you're running the business.
Yes.
But who owns this business? Because I'll tell you why. I'm a bit worried. It's a family business. Mm-hmm. You've invested your personal money in the business.
That's correct.
You've got siblings.
Yes.
And that's gonna be an issue. Because after some time, people will be telling you the business and everything.
That's true.
So who owns this business and how is it structured?
Okay, currently it's registered when it comes to the legalities of it. It's under my name.
Okay.
So what happened is that I was appointed the executor of the estate.
Okay.
So based on that, and also because when we closed the business, there was a lot of financial issues that were registered with that business, well, obviously with my parents running it.
Yes.
And hence I decided that, you know what, in order for us to carry on with the legacy, it's better that we register a new entity.
Okay.
And then we start operating from a clean slate with the new entity.
You see, with a family business, the problem is that you will always sit with things where if you've got siblings, they will always come back and say, this is my parents' business, and that where it does not really belong to anyone. Everyone feels that it's theirs and they've got authority and they've got a say in the business, and that.
We all have the same goal. I think it's just about how we want to implement it. That's where we have the clashes. So it's work in progress. I don't think it's going to change overnight. But I think in time we've managed to solve a lot of issues without losing focus.
The first thing I would like to see you doing in this business, I want you to start to go and review your policy or your value proposition in the business. When you're reviewing it and looking at it and giving it a real thought behind it and that, as well, what you need to do is to create the systems that will make sure you are achieving that. Okay. So you talking about quality product. I would like to see in your business the systems on how to ensure that, number one, you buying quality meat from quality suppliers. How are we going to measure that quality? What are we going to use to measure that quality? So I would like to see that happening. What type of suppliers do we buy from? How do we grade our suppliers and that? So I would like to see those things coming in to speak with that value proposition.
The bigger picture is that I am on the right track. It's just the implementation of how to do it, how to actually implement it is where I was struggling a bit.
Have you done your market research? Have you looked at your competitors in that market? Okay. And when you look at those, where does it place you? Are you the second biggest there? Are you, I want you to go back and do that also. Create that grading of your competition and be able to see yourself in that market. Be able to see yourself and say, where do I fit into this whole market of meat supply, of butcheries in the area that I'm in the region that I'm in? While you're doing that, it is going to give you a nice roadmap of how to expand, because it will sort of tell you what the market is like, who is playing what in the market, and sort of create a roadmap for you to where you need to go with this business.
I just needed somebody that's going to guide me or give me mentorship in terms of how to lead and implement the plans that I have for the business. And
tomorrow you're pitching for 50K.
Yes.
It can go a long way in getting that capital in the business. Okay. Now, what I need you to focus on now, I need you to focus on where this business was, where it is today, where you are taking it. Speak about you, the entrepreneur, in your pitch. Speak about you, the entrepreneur. Speak about the business. Speak about how you have turned this business around in a year to doubling its revenue. That will be able to show the investors that you've got the ability to grow this business, but also demonstrate the plans that you have to sustain this growth and take it to the next level. Because it is not the money that you need to grow it, but it is the ideas and the passion that you have to grow it, and someone else will put the money in order for you to grow it. If you can demonstrate that passion, the understanding of the market, and the ability that you have, it will be able to attract someone to put their money on you and grow this business.
I think my coaching session went very well. He asked certain questions regarding my value proposition and my expansion plan and all of that. So how he positioned it is actually going to help me understand the clarity that I needed.
And how much of this money will you be spending on stock?
Ideally, I would like to spend at least 30% of that.
Have you done the maths?
Yes, I have done the maths.
So why are you not showing us what the maths is?
How do you feel?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'll be fine.
What's making you nervous?
It's just the nerves, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think I should be fine. I know what I'm talking about, so I'll just take it easy.
You'll take it easy?
Yeah.
Best of luck,
so.
Swami.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oops, you move.
Paulina, welcome to Making Moves.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, but I should be fine. Yes.
I suppose that's an appropriate feeling for the situation.
I guess.
You have 4 minutes to impress the judges. You've met Lucas and had a coaching session with him.
Yes.
On my left is Martine.
Okay.
And after 4 minutes, we will have a short question and answer and interrogate your pitch. Good luck. Your 4 minutes starts now.
Okay. Hi, my name is Paulina Mothupi. I'm running a business called KM Mothupi Butchery. The business was founded by my parents. Was founded in 1992. But my dad was previously a driver and my mom was a teacher, and then they founded the business. They ran it old style with an old till, and just the only thing that the products that they were serving at that point, it was just beef and poultry and chicken poultry. Those are the systems that they had in place, but they're serving the community. The clients and the clients that they had was over other than just the community. It was also they also delivered within the surrounding areas as well. They established suppliers not only in Polokwane, but they also from Joburg, where they bought their stock in bulk. When it came to your pork products, that they also sold as well. Pork was obviously one of their biggest products, where they only just did the pork trotters and your pork meaty bones. The competitors that they had at that time is that there was a butchery that was just down the road from them, but because of the pork that they sold, which other butchers did not sell, that's actually how they survived the business. Currently, I'm running the business. When my dad passed in 2012, we decided to close the business, and we re-established it in the last year, where I'm running it with my brothers. What I did is that there was a financial investment that I had for myself, that I invested in the business. So over and above the fact that the butchery was there, we had to obviously upgrade the different the cold rooms, and obviously just do a rebranding around the brand. In terms of my personal strengths, I have been an entrepreneur before, but obviously in a more marketing orientated industry. But because of the industry that the environment that I grew up in, I used to work at the butchery, but it was not more. It was more on the front line than the back line. There's a lot of skills that I've learned in terms of I've made sure that went through to a butchery school with my brothers to ensure that we know what happens when it comes to operational line. The suppliers that we are currently using is I've added more. I've got new suppliers, but I've also used existing suppliers with the relationship that my parents had initially had. What we've done differently now is that we've added on the pork line, we've added other different portions that we are selling. We've also included lamb. We've also.
I'm going to stop you. You've got a minute left, and there's a lot that it feels like you haven't covered.
Okay.
So you might want to move and get to the meat of your pitch.
Okay. My future plans for this 50K investment that I want to do is that I want to make sure that oh goodness, I'm so nervous. What I'd like to do with this 50,000 rands is that I'm going to increase on my marketing plans. What we're also going to do is that because we want to increase our client base, we're going to invest in getting more. We're going to invest in getting more. Oh goodness, I'm so nervous.
Okay. Easy, you're almost there.
We're going to invest in. We're going to get more skills. Personally, from my side, where we lack.
Okay. Unfortunately, your time is up.
Yes,
we're going to go straight into the question and answer.
No.
The growth plan for the business is really centered around marketing. Is that what you primarily want to do?
Yes, I really wanted to market the business and preferably look into growing, getting another branch for the business.
Okay, you didn't speak to the getting of another branch. You
Yes.
spoke to the marketing.
To the
so
marketing.
you said you want to use money for
Yes.
marketing. What does that look like? Who would you be marketing to, and how would you be marketing?
I want to be marketing to a wider area, and then obviously it will be for more like restaurants, as well as just to provide the service in other communities. That's what I'd like to do. So my marketing would be using the radio, as well as your newspapers, over and above word of mouth.
What marketing research have you done within your community, as well as outside, and in the sectors that you're wanting to expand in, to make you think that marketing is the top of the priority for growth strategy?
The research that I've done is that the products that I offer is completely different from the butchery that's just down the road from me, and also the service, the benefit of the fact that we can do over and above your household deliveries. We've got hampers that we can be able to cater for the community that I'd like to expand to as well.
Do you have a demand for it at the moment?
Yes, we do.
And you're not able to meet your demands?
I'm not able to meet my demands.
You are or you aren't?
I am. Currently, I am.
You are able to meet your demands?
I am able to be. I just want to grow that. Because
there is still a further demand?
Yes, there is.
And what is the main product line where you make your biggest return on?
It will be on the pork.
You're talking you want to spend money on marketing. And you said that you have been an entrepreneur in the marketing space.
Yes.
I'm not understanding, why do you need such a big budget to spend on marketing when there's clearly other things that that are more critical in the business for that? What are the 3 things that you really need that you would spend such money on?
I'm going to spend, you mean within the marketing space, or?
I mean, if it's marketing, but I'm saying, what do you need the money for? What do you need to spend money on?
I need to spend money on skills development. I need to spend money on stock, and also like the marketing. Stock, and obviously if I'm marketing, if I want to grow my client base, I need to ensure that I do have the stock to be able to deliver.
And how much of this money will you be spending on stock?
Look, ideally I would like to spend at least 30% of that. I mean, sorry, not 30%. I'd like to spend at least 70%, and then the 30% will go through to the marketing.
Have you done the maths?
Yes, I have done the maths.
So why are you not showing us what the maths is?
I was going to speak through it, but like I said, I was...
Thank you very much. We're going to deliberate and then call you back.
Okay, thank you. I think given a second chance, I would have just given more of the numbers for what I would do with the investment, with the money that I would have won. I think that's what I would have done.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think you did?
I'll give you a 4.
A 4? That well, eh? All right, guys, what are your thoughts on KM Mothupi?
Sure.
I'm disappointed. I mean, I was expecting more, actually. We didn't get to the financials. We didn't get to understand exactly really what is to be done with the money. For me, she says, I've been an entrepreneur in marketing, which means you understand marketing and that, and you've operated in that space. I don't expect you to ask to take money and throw it in marketing when it's something that you can do in-house. Yeah.
But you coached her now.
Yeah, and nothing came out.
Maybe it says something about your coaching.
Perhaps.
You need to wonder about the quality of your coaching.
I'm starting to worry now. Nothing that we spoke about came out, and this worries me.
You did say umungena ukuthi ubuthukile nami ngasho futhi ngaphambi ukuthi ungene uthukile, but I thought you had it under control.
I thought so too. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen?
No, it didn't happen.
Martin,
I'm just worried that she's not paying attention to the critical success factors within a business at the moment. the fact that she's putting a strong emphasis on marketing, when marketing in today's day and age is quite easy. I mean, especially in the communities that she works in. The lifeblood of social media marketing is massive in there. But it tells me that she hasn't done enough research within her business to understand what exactly she needs to move to the next level. So, I don't know.
Since you're not happy about their presentation, ucabanga ukuthi ama-judges wona bayibona kanjani? Are they going to look at it and say, okay, Siya Mdlalose, let's see her kwisigaba esilandelayo noma cha?
I really hope so. Yeah, I think when it came to the questions, the clarity, I think I gave them enough clarity as to, where I did fumble. So I'm hoping that it goes well.
Her market is not necessarily a social media savvy market. However, I don't think, she competes with big retailers. So there's a mall, less than 3 kilometers away from where she is. There are other larger butcheries. I think if I was in her shoes, the marketing would literally be, you can't go compete with a large retailer on radio, and you're wasting your time. But what they don't do is they don't go door to door to the different restaurants with a little bookie to show people
Rate card,
like personal service. They don't do pamphlet drops door to door in the community. They don't do those kinds of things. They don't participate in community events. Those are the kinds of things that I think would help her grow her business, if more of a sales approach as opposed to a marketing approach.
Correct. She spoke yesterday, things that came out great in that business were quality products, customer savers. She was talking about quick delivery and such things. And I said to her, your promises are great promises. Go and make sure that you have got systems that are going to ensure that you deliver on these promises. She spoke nothing about systems there as well. So for me, it's sort of like everything that was spoken about, it's not in her plans of that money. And those are the things that will grow this business.
Okay.
Siswam,
thank you.
they're waiting for you, ne?
All right.
Sure, Nakon.
Paulina, welcome back.
Thank you.
Cool. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you think you did?
I did terrible.
Give me a number.
I'll give you a 4.
A 4. That well, eh? Okay.
That's bad.
No, that's fine. So we've all got, different types of feedback for you. Okay. I think my biggest thing is I don't mind a bad pitch. I don't mind a bad pitch. I understand that we get nervous and, you don't always articulate yourself clearly. Any individual, it happens to all of us. The issue that I have is an unclear strategy. Okay. I felt like you didn't focus on the right things, and your strategy in terms of what you want to do is all wrong.
Okay.
Marty?
Yeah, Paulina. So you talked a lot about township revitalization and all of that in your profile, and I did see that coming through, particularly that you're a reinvented family business. So you've got that heritage. You've got a massive market around you that I don't think you're tapping into as yet. And it's huge. I mean, I work in the communities on a daily basis, and I really don't think that you've connected with your market enough to be able to understand what they want. So you do know that you want to scale, and scalability is very possible for you, but I'm afraid at this point that I don't think you're clear on which areas you should scale in to get the maximum return on the investment.
Okay. I'm disappointed.
I know.
Right, I'm disappointed. A pitch that is not clear means that you don't understand your business.
Okay.
Because that's what comes out. If it's the business that you understand that you live, you're able to pitch it easily. Yeah. So for me, it tells me that. And nothing that we spoke about came out. You've got a great business. You spoke amazing things yesterday. That did not come out today. And not in terms of you didn't finish the pitch, but in terms of even the part of the pitch that you touched on those areas, it didn't come out. So as a matter of fact, I'm sitting here with the judges and that, and the business that you sold to me yesterday, it's not the business that you sold to us here. Okay. And we're still now sitting and struggling, battling with what is this business about.
Okay.
Had you asked for money for your second branch, it would have been a very easy conversation.
Yes.
What we would do if we were in your business, first thing we would do is pound the pavement. You don't need big marketing. You can never compete with a big retailer on radio, and you've got big retailers right down the road from you.
Okay.
So what they won't do is they will not go from restaurant to restaurant, from hawker to hawker, selling and introducing themselves and giving a pamphlet and a price list and nice pictures. Build a database of people that walk into the shop in terms of their cell phone numbers. It costs you nothing to go online, get a group SMS thing going, and just send bulk SMSs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Small, simple, doesn't cost a lot of money. If you had to do some branding, maybe brand your vehicles so that there's some visibility as you're moving around. That's the first thing, right?
Okay.
Secondly, market research. Lucas wants you to just go and do the maths a little bit more. Beyond who's selling around you, what are they selling? What are their products that are moving? Where do you find your differentiation? A butchery is not an innovative business by nature. So you're going to have to find the innovation and find a way to package yourself differently, right? So from a product innovation perspective, Martine spoke about Stokvels.
Awesome.
Get in touch with the Stokvel Association. Find database of Stokvels in and around your area. Get in touch with them. They've got events every month. What packages can you do that is Stokvel specifically?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Martine's going to give you the good or bad news. I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you're not making it through to the next round.
Okay.
But you do have amazing advice from all of us.
Yes, I do.
And if implemented, I can only tell you that you'll see massive growth in your organization in a very short space of time. So don't look at this as a negative. I want you to take the absolute positive out of it, because you have a great business and you are able to scale it to the next level, irrespective of coming back or not.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity and advice. I'll definitely
Best of
take
luck,
it.
huh?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And advise young entrepreneurs to actually be a part of it. It was very, for me, it was very beneficial. I've learned quite a lot, and I'm going to take the advice. I see where they're coming from, and I'll still continue with the plans that I had. And with their input, I think it's a lot. It's going to be a lot easier. I got a lot of clarity on a lot of things, so I'm happy.